How are the murals in the Potala palace depicting the son-in-law paying respects to his father-in-law? In the sacred snow-covered plateau, there is a renowned building that attracts the attention of people from all over the world. Everyone who visits Lhasa will go to admire its sacred appearance. It is the magnificent palace of the former Tibetan king, the Potala Palace. The Potala Palace was built by Songtsen Gampo for the arrival of Princess Wencheng of the Tang Dynasty and Princess Brakuti of Nepal. Initially, it was a large royal palace, but today it also enshrines Buddhist statues such as Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, becoming a sanctuary in the hearts of virtuous men and women. However, how many people know that there is a secret hidden in the Potala Palace? Songtsen Gampo, the beloved husband, actually depicted the story of paying respects to his father-in-law in the murals. Back then, if it weren't for Princess Wencheng coming to Tibet, Songtsen Gampo wouldn't have built the Potala Palace. After Princess Wencheng's death, the treatment she received was almost equivalent to that of the Tibetan queen, showing the Tibetans' love for her. So, it's not surprising that there are stories about Princess Wencheng on the murals of the Potala Palace. So, how does the mural depict Tang Taizong's attitude towards his son-in-law Songtsen Gampo? Back then, Songtsen Gampo dispatched a marriage proposal envoy, Dongzan, to the powerful Tang Dynasty to seek a marriage alliance. The envoy arrived in Chang'an with a cartload of gifts to explain the purpose to Tang Taizong. Unfortunately, envoys from other vassal states also came, hoping to marry the beautiful and virtuous Princess Wencheng. After a moment of thought, Tang Taizong decided to test these envoys. He gave them 3 difficult tasks, and only those who answered all of them correctly could take the princess back to their country. The first task was to judge the head and tail of a piece of wood. Taizong placed 10 pieces of wood with the same thickness at both ends in the garden and asked everyone to make a judgment. This puzzled the other envoys, but Dongzan remained calm. He had someone push all the wood into the water. Since the density of the root of the wood was greater than that of the top, the wood quickly tilted in the water, and thus, the first task was successfully solved by Dongzan. The second task was to thread a jade with a thin thread. Taizong took out a piece of white jade with a winding and twisting hole in the middle and asked the envoys to thread it with a gold thread. While the other envoys squinted and struggled to stuff the thread into the hole, Dongzan calmly tied the gold thread to an ant and then placed the ant at one end of the small hole. He also applied honey to the other end of the small hole. In this way, the ant diligently threaded the gold thread through the white jade, and the task was completed. The third task was to identify the mother of a foal. Taizong mixed 100 mares with a foal and asked the envoys to identify which mare gave birth to the foal. The envoys were at a loss and shook their heads, saying, "This is too difficult." Only Dongzan requested, "Your Majesty, please give me one night, and I will definitely give you the correct answer." Taizong agreed to his request. So, Dongzan separated the foal from the mares and kept them apart for one night. The next day, when he released the horses, the hungry foal immediately ran to its mother to suckle, revealing the answer naturally. Taizong secretly thought, Dongzan is indeed clever, let's test him a bit more. Taizong then asked Dongzan to pick Princess Wencheng out of 500 veiled palace maidens. He promised that if Dongzan got it right this time, he would immediately let the princess go back with the Tibetan people. But Dongzan had never seen Princess Wencheng, so what should he do? Fortunately, he received a secret report saying that the princess liked to apply a uniquely scented powder, and bees particularly liked this scent. So, he secretly brought a few bees with him when identifying the princess. As a result, guided by the bees, Dongzan successfully recognized the princess. Taizong was very pleased and indeed let the princess get married. He also sent many dowries to Songtsen Gampo, greatly developing the economic strength of Tibet. It seems that Songtsen Gampo depicted the experience of paying respects to his father-in-law in his own residence to tell the world, as long as you don't offend your father-in-law, there will be many benefit.